10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Versus Iceberg. Game number 2 now. The Dire up 1-0 here in this best of 3. Again, the winner of this moves on to the playoff stages of the NA qualifiers for what is the PGL event, the minor that's coming up, and they move on to play Complexity. So, and as of right now, that is scheduled to happen after this series finishes. So, again, with all these tournaments going on, and as we mentioned earlier, Complexity currently even playing Evil Geniuses in a completely other event. Things could be changed / delayed. I mean, we'll get to that when we get to it. We got a series here, though. That's what matters. And looking forward to now game number 2. So again, the Iceberg, they looked solid early on, and they actually were ahead in some aspects. Obviously, with their cores doing very well, but ultimately coming up short here. Skim, do you think Iceberg got what it take to at least take a game here on the series?
Yeah, I do. I think there's a lot of promise in this team. Obviously, I mean, it's a very young team still, but I think they've shown in pretty much every game that there is some aspect to their performance that is noteworthy. Even though they don't have the best track record, like they haven't really gotten very deep into these qualifiers. Yeah, they've sort of beaten teams here and there, were tied at least, but they usually come short against all the favorites like DC, the Dire now, or the Dire previously even. So I do think they have the potential to take a game off of the Dire, but ultimately the Dire is the favorite here for sure. But we'll see. Maybe just one draft can change it all. I mean, who knows? Maybe they have something up their sleeve that we haven't seen just yet. And we do see a little bit of a different draft than last time around. There's a Spirit Breaker now, and the Dire are actually, Team Dire are now the ones with the Nature's Prophet. I believe they did pick Radiant in this game. They had so it was Iceberg that had first pick choice. Basically, they could choose first pick or side. They chose first pick, and then Team Dire chose Radiant. So I believe, yes, they're just out to mess with us.
Ten seconds. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
I just doubt it. Like I said, there is already that AA on the other side. Sure, it's just technically just one hero. It doesn't necessarily count him completely, but it is quite noteworthy. So I doubt they're gonna pick it up. But it's PPD. Who knows? Maybe he'll pick it up just to prove a point. Hey, I can beat AA with my Necrophos. And nope, it's gonna be an Oracle. Interesting from Iceberg to pick up the AA Earthshaker that quickly. Yeah, sure, Earthshaker can technically be played as a core or as an offlaner, but it does kind of already. I think in most cases you will assume that this is their support duo, and you can already see it from the Dire's bans. They ban out the Bad Ride and the Phantom Lancer because they know, well, they pretty much always already have their support duo anyway.
I love seeing the Oracle. I've always been a fan of this hero. I've made that point when I've been casting recently, whatever. That this hero is so fun to watch, especially as somebody that plays support a lot myself. And I always consider this hero, the biggest reason why I like to watch it is because I think it has one of the highest skill caps of a support hero, especially in the game. I mean, when you see a good Oracle player, it is fun to watch. You know, from you comboing all the abilities, not only using False Promise and the Knave of Cain, but again, it's how you use the Fate's Edict, it's how you use Purifying Flames after the fact, offensively or defensively, and how you even use the Purge to top it all off. So it's difficult to do well, but obviously at this level, you do expect that here. So Fate's Edict, with that said, is definitely going to be a strong tool this game already.
There's also an interesting interaction where, although it probably isn't really that relevant with a Spirit Breaker, what we could do is you cast Fortune's End on a teammate, right? But then a teammate jumps an opponent, and as long as he's close to that opponent, the opponent will still be bound by the Fortune's End. So that is definitely something that could look towards, but with the Spirit Breaker, it doesn't necessarily make too much sense because his charge is already going to stun the opponent anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
It's true, yeah. Well, they go Dragon Knight, they do get another stun here. One that perhaps could eventually get that Blink Dagger, Shadow Blade, whatever it is to get in there and get that Dragon Tail off. But the CCNC Dragon Knight most likely going to be seen. Response to the puck, perhaps, you think?
Yeah, it does sort of solid in lane. Puck is a strong laner just because it's been he, she, no matter how you want to look at it, has been buffed quite a little bit over the past couple of years now, especially in terms of attack damage. And Dragon Knight, just a lot of armor, just a lot of regeneration, can deal with that harassment. And just overall, I mean, it adds to their push, right? They already have the Nature's Prophet. With the DK now, they can pretty much transition any sort of team fight into an objective. So this is something that Iceberg has to look out for, and right now they have decent counter push with the Fissure, with the Illusory Orb, but they'll probably need something on the core position that can also deal with waves quite efficiently.
A little bit of a curveball there from Iceberg, so kind of just assumed there's going to be a puck mid, but probably now more the offlane puck here, as they go OD for the mid matchup instead. Take care of the DK, so I think is it safe to say that he's matches up much better against the Dragon Knight now?
Yeah, I mean, OD does well against virtually any hero in lane. There's only a few heroes that don't necessarily, that he technically gets countered by. DK isn't really one of them, because DK definitely wants his mana in lane, and especially early on, without the Dragon Breath, it's going to be very difficult for him to actually find enough farm to get his bottle. So this is something they'll have to look out for, but, I mean, it's Dota. It's probably not going to be a 1v1 lane anyway, so this is going to come down to the support rotations again. But generally speaking, OD should do very well in this lane. Even though, again, the harassment part still applies here. Yeah, he's still gonna get annoyed by the imprisonment, but at the same time, he has a lot of armor. He has regeneration. He's not gonna get killed. It's just gonna be a question of whether or not he can find those last hits.
All right, so we'll see what their one position is. Most likely expecting that to be this kind of feels to me like almost like a 4-1 lineup here on the side of Iceberg. I know OD is definitely a hero that can transition into a pretty solid carry throughout the game, of course, but it feels like a lineup that where you send OD even with the others, or even just Puck or Shaken AA alone, they can go around setting up kills while your in this case, your one position hero just sits back and farms. So almost something, I don't know if NAM makes sense here necessarily, but kind of that theme.
It could work. It definitely could work. Or, I mean, not necessarily the EAM specifically, because there is quite a bit of counter now with the Spirit Breaker and the Nature's Prophet, and presumably if the Dire have any other core that has some sort of disable or burst, I'm not sure Anti-Mage would make a lot of sense, but, you know, the Troll Warlord sort of fills that role as well, and he can help his team out with his ultimate still without being physically there, and, well, that's a Draw Ranger lineup.
Wow. They were ready for that one.
Well, instant pick almost.
Pick the draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is a support ranger? Misery is currently selecting the draw ranger.
Nah, the problem.
No, this is just a troll. No, this is just a troll. Yeah, or misclick, whatever. But no, this is not a. No, this
we're not gonna see a Pycat Spirit Breaker. Come on now. They're keeping them guessing to the very end here, but I don't think that's actually happening.
Yeah, it just threw me off to see his name there. It was like,
oh no, I can understand that. Yeah, no, now that you mention that, it does look funny. Troll Warlord though, yeah, again, that doesn't necessarily go to what I was thinking at least. I mean, this is more of a core that will be able to be active with you much sooner than something like the AM perhaps would have been able to be, but Again, AM was a bad pick here. As I want to reiterate, I don't think that was going to be the pick, but
just something like it. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, something like that idea. So they go Troll though. So great for pushing objectives. But the snap pick Drow though, whoever plays, okay, whatever. But Drow, I mean, obviously you got the synergy with Dragonite, the Elder Dragon form at least. Gonna be good for pushing objectives. So why did they like it so much though? You think?
I think they just saw that they can exploit this lineup a little bit, the Iceberg's lineup, I mean, in the sense that, you know, this Iceberg lineup is going to take a lot of time to come online. The OD, the Troll Warlord, both of them don't really do well early on. They definitely need time and farm, and, you know, if they can't really apply a lot of pressure. AA also isn't necessarily a support that can apply a lot of pressure. Earthshaker, yeah, and Puck maybe a little bit, but it's not going to keep the draw down, so I think in PPD's head, it's, well, this is a free draw game for them. Because if they just get what they want, they finish this game in, like, 20 minutes, pretty much. And this is definitely something that Iceberg need to look out for. Being able to push out the waves effectively. Yeah, the Troll Warrior can deal with creep waves, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to really deal with the draw push, because if you don't have the initiation from either Puck or the Earthshaker, you're probably not going to be able to take on that fight. And this is... I think after they saw the OD mid, they knew, all right, the Puck offlane is not going to get an early blink. This is our time. Like, if the Puck had an early blink, yeah, they can deal with it. But without it, probably not.
They do have really good counter push here on the side of Iceberg between AA, Earthshaker, and Puck, their first 3 picks especially. So the idea of just being able to push lanes freely, not 100% there, but still, when it comes to building, hitting, obviously, the Dire is very, very strong. Finishing with that Drow. So we are at a pause here if that wasn't obvious, you know, checking chat. It's not just taking forever to load, as apparently both sides actually need a quick break, I guess, so should be back soon, though. I mean, Pycat does now select Spirit Breaker, but again, they can still, yeah. They can still, and I'm sure probably will swap. I don't know if I mean, what a support Drow and a carry Spirit Breaker is there any potential for that?
Heavily done it.
You
know, a support draw. I'm not gonna say a support draw has been done before, but there was a game where a very old Virtus Pro lineup with like Silent and FNG and whatnot. They had a draw ranger carry, but she was so underformed because everybody kept ganking her. She just ended up building Wraith Bands, and she became a support draw ranger. So she literally just gave aura to the rest of the team, while the team just carried her. Like, the draw ranger literally provided the aura only. So, you know, there have been cases where this kind of thing happens, but this is definitely a core ranger. And yeah, they already swapped.
They sure have. So part of me was, it would have been fun to see, but yeah, there was no way that was actually happening. So they do swap it in the end, and it said Pycat going to be playing the Drow. And of course, Misery will be on the Spirit Breaker here, looking to roam and set up kills. I will say early on in this game too, this seems like a strong, I mean, both sides definitely have their strong potential, but as far as the landing phase goes for the Dire team here, you got Spirit Breaker roaming in, you got the teleport presence from Nature's Prophet, of course. Especially something like towards the middle lane, you know, you got the Dragon Tail stun from Dragon Knight, so going to be interesting to see how active they are and where they look to set up ganks here early on in this game. Because especially with the Spirit Breaker and the Orb of Venom here, you know he's going to be looking to kill people somewhere.
Oh, for sure. And this is definitely, I mean, I'm not going to say this game is going to ride on Misery's ganking, but he definitely has to do quite a bit here in this early laning stage. I mean, it is a Spirit Breaker after all, and he's sort of the main initiator, or the solo initiator in a sense. And again, we did highlight the DK versus OD matchup isn't necessarily DK favored, so trying to go for those ganks, even though, you know, against Astral Imprisonment, it can feel futile, but if they time it correctly, if he knows it's on cooldown, there's definitely opportunity, together with the Nature's Prophet as well, to find that kill on the OD. So this is definitely something Iceberg, and especially Clairvoyance as the Earthshaker, they have to look out for. They have to position themselves correctly and not get caught out.
Yeah, another couple of things I really love about Oracle, going back to him real quickly. One being, this hero, again, on paper, you figure just the defensive prowess that he brings to the table. Obviously, he's great for that with the False Promise, the heal saves, and everything. But offensively, this hero can also put out some good damage. The Purifying Flames, especially to finish people off, we're looking at 360 damage at level 4, and it's a 2.25 second cooldown. I mean, he can spam that ability. Obviously, you don't necessarily want to because of the idea that it'll heal them up, but of course, mixed in with the Fortune's End, that's where it becomes really, really strong. But as say Spirit Breaker's charging in, you know, catching that target off guard with a big burst damage initially can definitely set up some kills. So there's that, and then using the Fate's Edict as a disarm as well kind of a fun tool, perhaps, against like the troll here throughout this game. But you got to be a little careful with that sometimes, of course, but can definitely come into play.
For sure. And what's also great about Purifying Flames is also that it's not a projectile that you can dodge. So Puck, yeah, you have the phase shift, but it doesn't really dodge it. He'll still have the skill, so it's not wasted by any means. So this is definitely something where they do have kill potential. But looking at the way the lanes are positioned, I do believe that the Dire, or Team Dire, are looking to rather try something top with the Spirit Breaker and the Nature's Prophet. And like we saw in last game, you know, Brax with the earlier boots and then into phase boots. This is pretty much a standard build at this stage, where you just go for those early phase boots and then you just take over the lane. And I wouldn't be surprised if they... no, looks like Zai is actually the one getting initiated on.
I mean, Ancient Apparition, oh yeah, the Fissure on the wrong side, kind of. He goes for just his own TP, though, and he will be fine with that. So good decision from Zai right there to prevent a first blood from coming out. But yeah, I mean, Ancient Apparition, I talk about this constantly whenever, obviously, we see this hero plenty nowadays. Chilling Touch is such a good tool this early on in the game, especially. I mean, essentially, in a dual lane, let alone if you put it on 3 heroes, you're looking at, it's 450 damage if you put it on 3 heroes. Between 3 auto attacks on each. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of damage. So, Nature's Prophet almost got caught off guard by that. But he made it out in time.
It really is really strong. And this is, I mean, up until the Prophet does have phase boots, he's definitely vulnerable. But once he has those up, he can turn around on any of these supports who aren't squishy themselves. Maybe even Clairvoyance here.
Oh yeah, top lane. Clairvoyance. Fissure throws it out. One more auto attack needed. Just out of range, spawns another lonely tree. It's not going to be enough. The Ice Vortex to slow them down a little bit, too. Okay, well, Earthshaker... Okay, the boundary ring, no! He wanted to get himself denied. I can't blame him. I mean, he could have got the boundary ring and gone over here, actually, in hindsight. But he just wanted to make sure to deny himself, prevent the first blood, and that he did, so... Well played in the end as far as the getaway is concerned. But yeah, he kind of was caught up there. I got to that late. I mean, what was the deal? Was he trying to just get a gank and then...
I think, yeah, it was just an awkward timing for him. Oh, mid lane. See, this is the timing I was talking about. He just used imprisonment, and they're going to go for the kill.
He got one 17%. Can he get another? No, he cannot. Oh, the flame knows enough. The breathe fire. Secures
this perfectly timed. A good call from CCNC, but also good positioning from Misery to be immediately there. Like, if he had been top lane, it might not have been in time. And speaking of top lane...
Well, we were wondering, not even wondering, but expecting Misery to roam on the Spirit Breaker quite a bit, and boy, is he doing that. He gets another kill set up right here, as Zai will pick up that one, but middle, the top jungle, he's doing his part, is safe to say.
Yeah, and in comparison, Clairvoyance, unfortunately, has been treading behind because he did get picked off top. He wasn't around to defend mid, and he wasn't around to defend top either, and might not be around for this one either. Oh, when he's coming in.
Another 17% here. There goes that the Chilling Touch, however, so you got to be a little bit careful as far as turn potential, and this is what we're talking about, Misery. Now, the trees are kind of blocking a little bit and also putting the turn kill potential. Misery is in trouble, though. He will end up falling, but at what cost now, Zai? He needs to keep running, though. Charlie on the Troll Warlord. Going to be able to run him down nice, very far. Oh, that was actually a stick pop, excuse me. Right there. Coming out from Zai. And maybe trying to get himself denied, if anything. Not going to happen. He went for the turn also at the last second, but... Yeah, we're having some close calls here.
All the charts still coming in. Though.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
He might get a double kill here.
No. Well, he's going to at least get the one. Can he get the two? Bash? Oh, if he got a bash there, that would have been epic. Now we might die in return. No, the aggro on the trees, and they end up running him down and secure the kill in the end. Okay, so it's a double kill for the team at least. Because of that.
Oh, and
he's just going to charge out.
Doesn't have the mana for a Fissure, otherwise it's a kill for him.
Nope. Spirit Breakers are fun to watch.
It is. In the meantime, mid lane, Brawl actually losing this lane. This is not only because of the kill, but also because of the early stages of the game where Brawl was unable to effectively zone at CCNC. Although, to be fair, I think it is difficult with the DK still, especially since Brawl doesn't have any support from his Earthshaker either. So now CCNC is actually pulling ahead in terms of net worth, in terms of last hits. Well, I suppose net worth as well.
And both those categories, and now he's in the Elder Dragon form, so now the precision RX starts kicking in, of course, with it when it comes to his last hitting potential. And in fact, middle lane, here comes Oracle. That's that level 2 Purifying Flame, so some big damage potential. He's going to put himself under. The imprisonment. Ancient Apparition is also here, and that'll be the cue for PPD and CCNC to fall back. Not worth the dive. But yeah, Dragonite having a very good time here.
Bottom lane Pikehead is being initiated on.
Charge, though, coming out from Misery. He charges on through. The Gust happening as well. Puck, he's silenced up, and the Bash proc comes out for the Spirit Breaker right there. And now the Sprout on Earthshaker as I ports in. That's what you like to see from your offlane Nature's Prophet. Ready to port in on Q. He does so and gets the kill. Onto Earthshaker there.
Such an unfortunate timing for Iceberg. I mean, they had the right idea, trying to find a kill onto this Draw Ranger, but at the same time, Spirit Breaker was already charging bottom the entire time, so was just there on time to save the Draw Ranger. They turn it around, and they can translate into the push as well.
God, that right-click damage, yeah. Bash comes out as far as the charge bash, and didn't even need a second one. Zai, more than enough damage. Again, you factor in the precision aura, even at level 1, still that much more on those right clicks. Enough to take out Puck. Yeah, the Gust is also doing work here from Drow. Level 2 Gust makes it a 4-second silence at this
strong
point.
Against Puck. Definitely very, very strong against Puck. It's a good item skill build from Pikehead, realizing that just that one more skill point enables the kill.
And now middle lane. It looks like it's just go time for the Dire. Now they're going back to the middle lane here. TPs are coming in, and they're going to get here in time. Bryle, 4 seconds on the Astral Imprisonment. Doesn't actually need it, though. As Earthshaker's TP in as well as the AA is enough to scare them off. But, I mean, if you're the Dire here, that's almost still a victory. Because you're forcing the reaction. You're going to force a Shrine use here. And, you know, Dragonite, I guess, used his own too. But the Spirit Breaker, he can just move so freely from lane to lane. He doesn't really care if they... I mean, he cares if they don't get the kill, of course. But you get the point. It doesn't hurt them as much.
It doesn't hurt them as much. Same with the Nature's Prophet as well. I mean, yeah, he TPs in, but it's a Nature's Prophet. He can always TP in anywhere, pretty much. And... Oh, bottom lane Misery? He tried to be greedy to getting the tower there.
Alright, well, let it be denied in the end, understandably. He would have had to tank that tower damage for the full time, but...
Well, yeah, just to come back to the point, ganks like that definitely don't hurt the Radiant side, but definitely does hurt Iceberg. They rotate 2 supports, like you said, they even use a Shrine for it, and they just, I don't know, it's just not great for them, and they don't really have the greatest response time on those kind of things either. I mean, Clairvoyance, again, it's not only him, but also the rest of the team, right? They sometimes just, the response time is a little bit delayed in comparison to what the Team Dire does.
Mm-hmm. What kind of build are we going to see on OD this game? He's a hero that can go a plethora of items early on, I feel like. What would you think makes the most sense here?
See, the thing is, usually you would probably go Midas into Hurricane Pike, and... Oh, does he even survive here? Nah, he's
probably
dead.
Not.
Alright.
Forward in. Wrath of Nature used there as well.
Yeah.
From Zai.
But yeah, usually you want to go Midas into Hurricane Pike, and then, you know, I mean, sometimes even Veil of Discord, but I'm not even sure any of those items are really going to do much in this game. Veil of Discord, what does it really amplify here? The stats are nice. That's dead Troll Warlord, isn't it?
Troll's probably dead here. Yeah, he just gets smashed up against the wall. Adding insult to injury. And now they have Drow pushing the top lane with the team. She has her marksmanship as well, so... Again, it's still only level 1 precision aura, but that alone is doing plenty, as mentioned before. And this is just a very, very active game from the Dire. You can tell they're feeling it here.
Yeah, again, I mean, I mentioned it during the draft. This is like the team that wants to strike this early, right? They want to finish this game within 20 minutes, ideally, with this lineup. And right now, they have all the tools they need. The heroes haven't really been pressured in lane whatsoever. If you just look at the net worth, all 3 cores are at the top. The Spirit Breaker even does better than the Puck. So for them, this game is right now it's going flawlessly almost. So they could just keep going at it. Just as soon as they find another kill, they could probably look towards the mid tower as well, which is already down to half HP. And the Dire side or Team Iceberg right now, they just don't have the ways to answer because again, it comes down to their lineup. What do they throw at 4 heroes grouping up to take a tower? A Fisher? That's it. That's literally just it. And
yeah,
it's just not enough.
Speaking of Earthshaker, all he has is the Arcane Boots, only about 160 gold saved up currently. Bottom lane, Brax gonna take some heavy right clicks. Medallion amping the damage of Zai, goes for the TP. Wrath of Nature, not enough. He actually does port back in time.
You know, if that precision aura was like level 3 now, that's a kill probably.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that its skill build was wrong. I actually think the skill build was good for this game, but you know, just in theory, this could have been much worse for the Puck.
The hindsight there. Well, so he gets out, but again, still good for the Dire in the sense that he's back at base, regenning, and meanwhile, the middle of the tower is being heavily pressured here by CCNC on that Dragonite, the Dragon form. currently active and still has quite a bit of duration left on it. How long does it last in full? Like a 60-second duration, so been halfway done yet. Gonna push it again and probably get the tower kill here, pending and deny. It's gonna be close, although they do not want to give it up. Earthshaker running in. The Dream Coil does hit both. Man, that was a huge spread right there. Dragonite gonna be put under. PPD, meanwhile, he will end up going down. Was level 5, did not have the false promise. The turn kill onto OD, though. The flame comes out, and he will fall. That's a buyback from PPD, by the way, and they're running down Charlie now. He's going to be massively slowed by these frost arrows here of the Drow Ranger, and eventually just run him down for the kill. There's nothing more that Troll Warlord could do at that point. Out comes the Fissure, at least, from Earthshaker to stall the rest. And they should be fine now, but yeah, working together as a team. The buyback, I don't know about that, but you know what, he's back with the team, and now they can keep pushing, I guess.
He's back with the team. I think the idea behind it was, you know, the DK was, it looked like the DK was sort of caught out of position, and there was the danger of maybe, you know, him getting bursted down or whatever, but Iceberg, after they dropped the coil, the Fissure, it almost seemed like they didn't really have anything else to throw at them. Like, their spells, you know, they have long cooldowns. AA isn't even level 6 yet. So they didn't really have anything to do here, and again, it just comes down to the draft, and I think they just need more time. They need to split the map and avoid these fights, because they're pretty much always going to lose them. If it's like a 5-on-5 fight, at this stage, they're probably always going to lose them.
There's something about these kind of games that I just love seeing when it comes to itemization of a team like this. I mean, no one's going the greedy individual, I want to carry this game, Bill, which obviously makes sense in some cases, but in this game, you have drums coming out for Dragonite. You have the full Solar Crest for Nature's Prophet. You have Drow going a Helm of the Dominator. As, by the way, they're going to go in right here onto Roshan. He's not dead just yet. Dream Coil hits all three. False Promise going to be applied, though. Looks like that's just the Nature's Prophet. Wrath of Nature in return. Nobody dead yet on the dire side, though. I believe Zai, he's going to probably end up falling right here as soon as that wears off. Indeed. Misery, can he escape at least? Here comes CCNC. He was busy pushing out the top lane while this was happening. He takes out Troll Warlord pretty quickly right there. And now with another Dragon form, you want to run. Zai, in fact, buys back, so it's a very early buybacks here, but at what cost for him? He's going to go down. As Puck and AA were able to finish him up, but now Puck, he's trying to get out of the phase shift. Not going to save him, though. He falls in the end. Earthshaker with that enchant totem in the face of Misery. Only level 4, though, not dealing the most damage. Out comes the hammer from OD to take out the Spirit Breaker, though. They lose the Earthshaker, but now CCNC having to keep his distance. We're not even done just yet, though. Look at Plycat. He's back in the Roshan pit. But he has a little bit too much life. The Shrine he is, and Charlie's back here as well. Iceberg might be able to steal this now, if they commit to this.
Potentially, but at the same time, all of Team Dire are back up again. And again, 5-on-5 fight. The Dream Coil was expended. A Ultimate is still in cooldown for a little bit as well.
Oh, they're going to run down the Troll Warlord again. Those Frost Arrows, man. That is so good against Troll. He cannot even move, it feels like. Might as well be a stun at that point. And he does go down. Spirit Breaker, charging back in, catches the Earthshaker. He has the Fissure to use in 2 seconds. He's going to be sprouted up, though. We'll see if the Fissure eventually saves him. Not going to be necessary, apparently. What a Roshan fight we have here. It's still not dead. It's regen plenty of life here. But now the Dire might actually take it for themselves and actually secure it this time.
Yeah, and they cannot contest this, unfortunately, on Iceberg's side. Honestly, those buybacks were really crucial. Yeah, sure, Zai dies in that fight again, but it delayed the Roshan contestant from Iceberg so much. They even got a lot of counter kills. So, all in all, yeah, it was a costly Roshan and a costly defense, but at the end of the day, they still come out on top. I mean, yeah, it's still good for Iceberg, though, in a sense, because they got a lot of experience. They forced out those buybacks, got a lot of gold as well. AA turned level 6 in that fight, by the way, so was able to use that Ice Blast at the end as well. So it could have been much worse for Iceberg, that's for sure. But I think this gave them a little bit of a confidence boost, or at least I hope so, because it was a really good smoke, and it was a really good read as well. They immediately knew that Dire was going to go for the Roshan, and took them by surprise.
Yeah, a couple of things to go off of that fight here. I mean, you see OD, his item choice is going to be the Forest Staff here, and for all this fighting going on in Forest Staff in general, definitely going to be a great item in this game. Earthshaker, though, he's still ways off of the Blink, and he's not even level 6 yet. They really at least need that for the Echo Slam, but look at this top tower push, though. They've already got the tier 2, and you know what, with the Drow lineup, 15 minutes in, checking the watch here, yeah, it's about time to push tier 3. It's about time to kill Puck as well. He was ambitious there. I mean, we see Pucks do that all the time, but he just got caught here. Ice Blast coming out. It's not even scaring them, though, it feels like.
It really isn't. They could even technically wait and just go for it again, but I think they might just decide otherwise, just because Puck is so low level that he's just going to be up again in pretty much like 10-15 seconds. So for them, it's probably just not worth it. They have to regen a lot, and it's probably better just to push out the other lanes. And I mean, they still have the Aegis for another, what, 2-3 minutes, I think? So might as well just wait a little bit and then regroup in, yeah, 2 minutes again.
Yeah. And going back to this item here, this is what I really love to see as far as the team builds go. And Helm of the Dominator has had an interesting up and down roller coaster ride throughout this last season. Obviously with 7.0, it quickly jumped up to like the top item, and then it just dropped off after nerf after nerf. We've been seeing it resurge a little bit here in this last month, I feel like. Mainly in this NA scene, and Complexity's been doing it. We see the Dire's done it a couple times here. What do you think of the item?
It's an excellent pushing item. The aura is great, but also the, what's it called? The fact that you can the fact that you can dominate a creep is just really strong. There are so many creeps that are very tanky, that are very difficult to deal with, especially because of the bonus HP, and just being able to push down towers. I mean, if you have like a Centaur, it's so difficult for a team to bring him down, especially 15 minutes into the game. Only a core could bring him down, right? There's no way a support could do it, and this is just a great item. Those creeps obviously also have great auras as well, and the tornado, look, it's just chipping away at the opponents as well, just slowly taking away damage.
Waldering Ripper, man, that's an annoying one to go up against. There's a Frost Arrows on Earthshaker. He got gusted up immediately. He's going to be taken out. He does have a buyback. He'll use it pretty quickly himself. The range racks already going down, though. The melee racks. Still plenty of life to work with. And I believe Iceberg is going to hold here. As far as pushing further, I mean, still plenty of damage done, of course, by the Dire team here. And they're going to go for a Shrine kill. And, of course, the Tier 3 is now dead. So Dragonite, he got the blink following the drums. Now he has that BKB queued up. Yeah, and they're going to smoke right here. They're not even necessarily retreating in full. They're going to smoke, head towards middle. We'll see if they can get a catch here now.
And there's no real need to slow down either. You just don't want to give them time to farm up any necessary items, especially the blink on the Earthshaker. Not that he's really close at all, but, you know, you just don't want to take that chance. And
nice blast. Is that even going to hit it? I think it does hit the Drow, the Gust. Avoided by the Puck right there, I believe. Off to the side, though. Okay, never mind. That Puck actually jumped in, does get taken out. Earthshaker goes down as well on the back lines here. So, yep, good find from the Dire side. The False Promise keeps PPD alive throughout that as well. And this bottom tower now going to be pushed in on top of that, as you said, Skim. That why stop? They have the Aegis. They have such a good lineup for this momentum, and why stop? Let's just go middle. They got abilities to do that. Spearbreaker charges in, TP in, the Sprout comes up, and Bryle, he's like, all right, I'll just delay this death a little bit longer. And now he's dead.
He's very dead, and it's so difficult for Iceberg to take these fights. They don't even have Dream Call right now. Their only initiation is just like throwing a long-range Fisher, AA Blast, and then hoping that they can burst somebody down. But can they really at this stage of the game anymore?
It doesn't seem like it, man. I think that's the answer you're looking for right now, as rhetorical as that was, I'm sure. But to answer you, no. It just doesn't seem like it. Spearbreaker, he's going to be healed out by PPD there. So he'll be fine too. But this is going to be another Rax. That's another ranged Rax. And there's the melee Rax dropping now. The Aegis is reclaimed, as we heard right there. But like that's going to stop them. GGs are called. So it will be official. The Dire is going to move on to the playoff stage, where they're going to be set to play Complexity. Again, scheduled to be later on here. Later on tonight, we'll get some confirmation on that. But that's going to set up a really big matchup now down to what will be now 4 teams remaining. Only 1 spot on the line here for these NA qualifiers.
What did we say during the draft? 20 minutes? And then that was like a 19-minute GG? It's...
That was...
oh, well. But ultimately, I think this... It's just... You just got draw injured. That just happens sometimes. And you can't really blame Iceberg for that either, because I certainly... I mean, not that